Good morning. Did you think I forgot about you? I didn't. I was out of town last week at a place where there was no internet reception. This is Mary Jadwisiak coming to you live from Holding the Hope Central. I'm so happy to be back in my office after 10 days on the road and just really feeling out of touch with so many things. But I had a great vacation and a great work, kind of backed up back to back. But I'm really glad to be back because it's Friday and this is Friday Morning Live with Holding the Hope. And I just really want to finish up our talk about suicide prevention. September is Suicide Prevention Week, and we've been talking about suicide prevention. So the first week I kind of ran you through the facts, the feelings, actions, changes, threats, situations, things that might indicate that a person is having thoughts of suicide, right? What are they feeling? They're feeling hopeless. They're being angry. They're different than they're acting in a way that doesn't feel right. They're eating differently. They're sleeping differently. They have different sexual behaviors. They say things like, man, I just can't take this anymore. And maybe they've had a recent loss. So feelings, actions, changes, threats, situations. Those are the facts. That's what we look for. And then what do we do? So we care. And I talked about how to connect with a person. We're talking about life and death. So we need to connect with people. And then ask the question directly. Are you thinking of suicide? And then last week, I was going to talk about resources. So I'm going to talk about resources this week, and I'm going to talk about encouraging people. I did film a little video last week where I was at F.E. Warren Air Force Base, and I had some of the airmen behind me and different people behind me, and I will post that. But I want to talk about more in depth that resources. Now, here's why it's super important that we get resources involved, more than just a hotline, although hotlines are incredibly essential. That 1-800-273-8255 is a great hotline. No matter where you are, that number is staffed by caring, skilled, trained professionals. And they will help you, and they will help the person that might be thinking about suicide. So that's awesome. Or texting. There's a text line for those of you who don't really like to talk much, 741-741. Great text line for people, again, skilled, caring individuals that are there to talk to you about suicide or to talk to you if you're worried about somebody who might be having thoughts of suicide. So those are some resources. But I also want to talk about, and I'm going to post this on my website, is, and I don't know if you can see this or not. This is Word documents, but they're going to be available for you on the website. And I'm going to be, because there's phone numbers. Now, excuse me. On this resource page, I have Clark County, because that's where I live, right? So I've got Clark County Crisis Line. Every single area in your state, in your county, in your town has a resource center, has a crisis line that you can call. Local crisis lines staffed by local people that are trained and caring and skilled. And then there's the National Suicide Prevention Hotline that I just gave you. But there's other numbers, and there's on this sheet you'll see websites. So the trevorproject.org is a great website for young people who may be thinking about suicide. For people with for gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgendered friends and family, the Trevor Project is a fantastic resource. And there are many resources online. If you simply Google resources for suicide prevention, you'll find a lot. If you're looking to create a suicide prevention program, you can always contact my company and I can help you do that. But also you can go to the American Foundation of Suicide Prevention, or better yet, the Suicide Prevention Resource Center, sprc.org. They have so many links and downloads. If you're a pastor and you're looking for a way to, how do I officiate at the funeral of someone who died by suicide? What are some things to say? What are some things to not say? Hi, Brooke. And how do we talk about suicide? Do we talk about it? How do we report on suicide as a media? Those are all there, and it's really important because it's not just how we talk about suicide. I mean, it's not just whether we talk about suicide, it's how we do it. So in a national setting, it's really important that we create responsible, caring reporting on suicide so that we don't create contagion, because we know that's possible, especially in young people. So the resources are really important. Websites, the Trevor Project, Suicide Prevention Resource Center, sprc.org. I cannot emphasize enough how really powerful that is. And SPRC also certifies classes. So if you're thinking, hey, I want to bring a class into my school, I want to bring a class into my church, I want to bring a class into my agency, whatever that is, SPRC has a standard that they will certify, because again, you want to make sure that whatever resource you're bringing into the people that you care about is best practice, and they will make sure that they have standards to make sure that it's safe messaging, to make sure that everything that you're going to say is going to be good. And then again, as I said, just go ahead and Google or Bing or whatever search engine you prefer to go and find Suicide Prevention Resource Center, suicide prevention resources in your area. But there's another thing that I think is so flippin' awesome, and there's a lot of apps that have been developed now for young people. So there's apps for people to stay safe from suicide, which I love. So if you're thinking about suicide personally, there's apps to help you stay safe from suicide. There's apps for if you're worried that you're worried about somebody that you know. There's apps that can help you figure that out. If you're a professional, the National Suicide Prevention Hotline has some apps that can take you through assessment. So there's apps out there that are really helpful, and I just think that's awesome, because again, what do we always have with us? Our phones. So when we definitely feel the need to research something and to access some resources, just know that those are available for you. And again, your greatest resource is going to be your intuition. You know, and so always, for me, when it comes to suicide prevention, I always go with the better safe than sorry. So I'd rather have somebody angry with me or annoyed with me or confused with me than to have somebody die because I didn't ask the question, or because I was too nervous for myself, too scared to ask that question. We need to put our own fears aside and ask the question and then respond accordingly. This camera, it's like a little mirror right in front of me, so I try not to be too distracted. All right, so those are the resources. And again, I'm going to post a quick little video that I filmed last week when I had no internet access, and it's fun, but it's not enough. So I wanted to talk about that this week. But this week now, we're finishing up the conversation about caring. Connect, ask, refer to resources, because I also want to say this is not something you can do alone. Unless you're a mental health professional, master's level clinician, a prescribing psychiatrist, or a psychologist, this is not something you can do alone. Suicide is a medical condition that requires medical intervention. And so if you keep it all to yourself and you promise, I promise I'll keep it a secret, I won't tell anybody, you can always come to me, you're doing that person a huge disservice. You really, really need to bring in the help that person needs. You need to refer them. Now, does that mean that you just go, oh, here's a phone number, good luck with that? Of course not. You want to be able to walk with that person and stay with them until they're connected with the resources that they need. But we can't do it alone. And if we try to do it alone, as I said, we're doing a huge disservice to that person. And then also we're doing a huge disservice to ourselves because we're really isolated in this amazingly difficult situation. We want to hear, we can always be part of the solution, but we can never be solely the solution. It's not about us. It's not about our ability to rescue and fix. It's about this person being able to stay alive and move forward in their life, sometimes without us, right? Sometimes we're just there for a short enough time to kind of shepherd them through this difficulty so we can connect them with the resources and the referrals that they need to help them stay alive and continue with their recovery journey. So no secrets. No secrets, no heroes, right? We do this as part of a community. Now, that leads me to the next thing, which is encourage. So that's my favorite part of caring, is encouraging people and then letting them know that they can get well. So often the message is, you are sick and you're going to be sick the rest of your life, and the best you can hope for is symptom stabilization. And those of us that have gotten that message and have learned that it's not true, kind of go, well, gee, that was a major setback. Thanks for the hopeful messaging. We have to be able to tell people, listen, this is tough that you're in right now. But we know people, and we know from our own experiences perhaps, that you can get through this and you can come out the other end stronger, maybe even better, different for sure, but that's okay, right? We're through it. We're through it. We're alive. We're having great lives. A little bit of dip on occasion, a little bit of a spike on occasion, but we're doing this. And we have to be able to encourage other people. The medical professionals don't see us when we're well. They don't have the evidence that this can happen. Sometimes maybe they do, but for the most part, we don't go to the psychiatrist or the psychologist or the counselor when we're well, right? So they don't have that face-to-face, holy cow, look at you, you are amazing. Last time I saw you, you were not amazing, and now here you are doing amazing things and having this life. Or here you are raising your kids, getting them off to school on time, fixing them healthy dinners every night with an occasional pop and chips. And you're doing this thing, you're living your life, right? So for me, definition of recovery is, can you work, can you love, can you play? If you can do those things, go get on the bus, go to work, go do your thing, live your life. Nobody's perfect. None of us are going to have a perfect life of no symptoms or no difficulties or no snafus along the way. We are going to. Some of us, our snafus look like and can be called and diagnosed and labeled as a mental illness. Some folks, their snafus are from other things, right? But we all go through this thing of life with difficulties, and that's what it's all about. So to simply try to stop it all and say, I want to get off, I get that. But we also want to say, you can pause for a second and take a deep breath and know that there's an end to this, that there is help, and that you can learn skills, that we can learn how to manage, right? Once you see it, once you've been through it, you see it coming again, you kind of know, okay, I know what this is. Here we go. I'm ready for you. So when we see these things coming down the pike in our life, we can, in fact, manage them. We can, the dips are shallower, and the spikes are mounds, and the difficulty and the mud is thinner that we have to walk through, and we realize that, hey, look at me, life is better. I'm better. I can think clearly. I'm optimistic. I'm having a good time. I actually cleaned my house and really focused on what's going on. I'm present in my life today. I'm not trying to dodge and deny and hide and bob and weave and eat and watch TV for 8 hours and all of these things that I have done to avoid being alive and feeling bad. So we get to be alive and feel bad and just embrace it and not avoid it and move forward. So we need to encourage people that they can and they will and we do get well. That is the strongest message that we can give because we have done it. Nobody else has done it. We have. And we get to give that message to the people around us that this is possible, that you can learn how to do this. There are many, many skilled professionals out there that have spent a lot of time learning and developing and creating programs and to help us to sometimes we have to shift our attitude sometimes, right? So I saw on Facebook today, somebody said, oh, I just need an attitude adjustment. Any ideas? And my first thought was, yeah, go put some makeup on and get dressed up. I have to do it every Friday morning. And I'm always looking in the mirror and going, damn, you look good. And I should do this every day. I don't, but I feel good every day. Woo-hoo. I was at this is a funny story. I did I went to some Air Force base someplace or some military base someplace, and I walked in and there was a person there who follows me on social media. She kept looking at me funny, and finally she goes, "You really photograph well," which I just started laughing because I'm like, yeah, I know, because what she was saying was, "You look like crap now," because I was tired. I mean, I came in just. It was a long, hard travel to get there, and I was tired. My face was all puffy and wasn't wearing much makeup. And so the lesson to me was, hey, you can get dressed and put on some makeup and put on some colorful clothing and look good every day, because it does affect how we feel. There are some things that I know every month I have to pay my bills, because not paying my bills for me is a symptom. When my bills aren't paid and there's money in the bank, I know there's something wrong. That's a little red flag for me. When the dishes are piled up, when my house is in disarray, this is a red flag to me that I'm going down a road I don't want to go. You have those red flags too. You know what they are. And when you face them and when you deal with them, big or little, you feel better. I take medication in order for me to maintain my life. Some people don't. It took me a long time. After my mom died, I went on some antidepressants because that's what I needed at the time. And I fought it because, you can't be well and be on meds. Bullshit. Well, look at me, I swear it on the internet. No, you can't. That's why I'm well. So whatever we need to get well and stay well, we need to encourage people to let them know that, in fact, they can do it. They can learn the skills they need. They can develop those tools. They can bring that team around them. Do you have people in your life that want you to help you and that love you and you're pushing them away? I know I do. So how do we bring those people in and let them be a part of our life and let them be a part of our team? That's what it takes, right? It's not just to stay alive. We can all do that, but stay alive and having a good life. That's the goal. That's the goal. And so if we can stay alive right now so that we can learn how to have that fantastic life, or even just a good life, it doesn't have to be fantastic, just a contentment that comes with life and knowing that we've lived a life well lived, right? That we've done the best we can, that we're continue to do the best we can. It's awesome. Now, there are some skills that are fantastic, and many people are alive because of DBT, dialectical behavioral therapy skills, right? These are skills that you can learn that can help you have an amazing life. And Holding the Hope has partnered with Sarah Jensen, whose the name of her company I can't remember. Ooh, Sarah. So Sarah and Holding the Hope, I think it's holistic healing or holistic something. It's holistic something because it's holistic approach to DBT skills. And for we priced this thing to sell, right? $97. And we've located at a really central location right near in Pierce County so people can fly in if they need to. And so it's a DBT skills. It's a one-day training just to learn the skills. This is not to learn. This is not one of those big where you get certified and you can, no, it's not that. It's just one day to come and learn about DBT skills and how to do them and how to incorporate them into your life and how to help the people that you serve incorporate them into their life. Now, this is scheduled for October 16th. So it's pretty quick coming up, right? So October 1st is Monday. So we're about 2 weeks out, and these tickets are selling fast. So I really hope that you're able to, attend. So if not, give us a call. We can bring this to your agency. I've already had one call that an agency that wants us to bring it into their agency and just do it for their staff. So we're doing that. We can totally do that for you as well. The point is, we're here to help. We really want to be a part of your team. I love partnering with trainers that are bringing in new skills or that are new at learning how to be trainers, or they want to do different things. I love partnering with people and bringing those trainings forward. And so if this is a training that you really want, just give me a call and we'll sort that out, or drop me an email, mary@holdingthehope.com, and we'll bring that to you. But you can also read books, right? You can also go online. and figure out, what do I need? And I think what I know in my life is that when I start asking the question, what do I need? And when I kind of open my heart to doing something differently in my life, the answer just appears. Um, it happens to me repeatedly. And so I know it's something I can count on, that if I just get myself to a place of, I am ready for something to be, I've identified, or maybe I think I've identified an issue that needs to be taken care of. And then it always turns out there's something else on behind that one that needs to be taken care of as well. So I encourage you to continue on your journey. I encourage you to care for the people around you. I encourage you to be brave and ask directly about suicide, and then encourage the people around you that they can get well, and give them the resources and the referrals that they need to do that. None of us do this alone. And so we want to be able to help each other to do this. Anything I can do, please call me. You know I'm here to help. My name is Mary Jadwisiak at Holding the Hope Central, holdingthehope.com, and I'm here talking to you live on Friday morning. So what am I going to do this weekend? I'll tell you what I'm going to do this weekend. I'm going to clean my house because I got company coming on Monday. You know how that goes when you got company coming and you're like, you look around and go, ooh, how did it get this bad? So, hey, Sharon. Hi, Sharon. She's awesome. Sharon, anybody know Sharon? She's my training coordinator. She's awesome. And Brooke's there. Hi, Brooke. So, super happy to be talking with you today. As I said, this weekend I'm going to be cleaning my house. My son was so great; he put all of my deck stuff away. But the weather is still beautiful, so I have an empty deck and beautiful. That's all right, right? So I'm going to be cleaning and getting ready for out of town company. And I just got back from the Grand Canyon. Holy smokes, that was awesome! Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Beyond description. The pictures don't do it a fraction of justice. But life is good for me, and I hope life is good for you as well. So, Mary Jadwisiak, holdingthehope.com. It's Friday morning, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And of course, stay hopeful.